Hello, my BMWs, my beautiful, marvelous, and worthy kings and queens. Welcome, 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 welcome. I am so excited, y'all. I'm just excited. I'm so glad to be able to come to you all with another Soul Tie Saturday. I'm going to play a song. I got a song that I think is so appropriate for this live today, and it's by Jonathan McReynolds, and it's called People. So I'm going to play the song to allow some people to come on in. Let me see if I can turn it up some. It's not that loud. Oh my goodness. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna try to get back into it. I did something, but it's called People. It's on YouTube. It's not loud at all. Oh, see, Facebook always being special with me. But I always have, but it's okay. It's okay. He talks about people. He talks about all types of people. Self-righteous people, unthankful people, ungrateful people. So with people, we have to set boundaries. We do. We do. We have to set boundaries. So I chose this subject because I think it's very important to set boundaries in relationships. When you're coming into them and when you're not, you're already in them. So I'm going to abort the song. For some reason, my phone, any other time, it would be so loud. But today it's not. But it's okay. Just go find the song. It's by Jonathan McReynolds, and it's called People. People. So, again, I am excited for some of you that may not know me. My name is Tina Lewis George, but I go by my author's name, Tina J. Lewis. I am an author. I am a survivor. I am a mother. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I'm a friend. I am whatever I put behind I am. And I am absolutely the most two. I and am the most two powerful words that's in the vocabulary, in the dictionary, if you will. So when we set our reality of who we are, we got to let people know who we are. So therefore, we have to set these boundaries. We set them. We have to set them. I'm just trying to set something up, y'all. I'm just trying to give a few more people a little time to come in the room. On YouTube. To come in the room. Powerful. Yep, just come on in the room, y'all. Just say where you're chiming in from. I am trying to get my Facebook Live on my phone. And y'all just come on in the room, check in with me, tell me where you're coming in from. And we are going to talk about some things. I'm going to abort that because it ain't working either. But anyway, I just want to talk about these boundaries because, guys, coming into relationships, you gotta have boundaries. And I was thinking about some things today, and I was like, Tina, did you really set boundaries? Did you? I think I may have had some, but I didn't elaborate on them. And that's the thing, when we get in these relationships, we have these boundaries, but we don't want to tell the person, okay, this is where I am. These are my non-negotiables. This is me. So we don't set the boundaries. So when we don't set those boundaries, sometimes we set ourselves up for a lot of heartbreak and for our souls to be tied to ungodliness. And just like he said in the song, ungodly people, ungrateful people. We're not an Allen, so we have to deal with people. And I just want to say about the soul ties. And, I posted in the group today. And by the way, my group is in the link. In the title section. So just go and request to join the group. It just may be a soul tie. Just to we talk about some things. I've been posting some things and just interacting on some things about soul ties. And the reason I chose the subject setting boundaries is because when we coming into relationships, we absolutely have to set boundaries. Sometimes I'm kind of look down every now and then and look at my little notes because a sister ain't as young as she used to be. She could just think about everything. I just don't. I have to get my little notes every now and then just to peep, but I just let God move me in the way that He chooses to move me and what things that I have to say. But we have to set boundaries. And the first boundary that we have to set is within ourselves. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies. We have to deliver ourselves from ourselves. What do I mean by that? I'm just speaking from me. Sometimes we just do things and we beat our own selves up about things that people have done to us, that we don't know our worth. We don't know this about us. We don't know anything. So we have to, first of all, love ourselves enough to respect ourselves enough. Then we can set the boundaries for everybody else to respect and do everything that they need to do based on the boundaries that we set for ourselves. We have to. That's a must. I can only speak for myself because that's definitely a must going forward. We have to, because we want to have healthy relationships. And I talk about the soul ties that, soul ties they could be healthy, meaning godly and ungodly. So we want to strive to do better when we're seeking relationships. So one thing that I said about my boundaries, we got to guard our hearts. So if I don't know my worth, how can I guard my heart? How can I let other people know me when I don't know me? I'm just speaking because that used to be me a long time ago. And I'm just thankful that right now I'm in the point of my life that, this journey is about evolving. And when we evolve into the person that God has for us to be, we don't settle for a whole lot of things. We don't deal with a whole lot of things because life is too short, y'all. It's short. People are leaving this earth daily. And a lot of them are behind domestic violence and toxic relationships. Y'all, I'm thankful. I thank God so much that He just delivered me from that. So now I can be an advocate. I can be a mentor. I can be a voice for the voiceless. So setting boundaries are crucial. So I said a little while ago, I don't know if I set boundaries, but then I was sitting here thinking a little while ago as well, yeah, you kind of did. Because even in the relationship, when I got into this last marriage and in the dating process of knowing him, I mentioned something to him that I was doing that the way he answered was basically a red flag, and I ignored it. I mentioned that I'm an advocate. I'm passionate about domestic violence. And his response was, why does it always have to be the man? And he got very defensive. He got a little irate on the phone. And that should have been a flag right there because he knew what he was and he knew what he was doing. So, sometimes we ignore. So you got to guard your heart. God's word tells us to guard our hearts. That's what we have to protect. I'm not talking about this pump right here. The spirit, your mental toughness, that tenacity that you have in your mind and your spirit, you got to guard that. So therefore, you have to set up boundaries. So if I don't have these boundaries set for myself, therefore I can allow anything or anybody just to come into my space. That's my space, and just tell me who I am, tell me what to do, tell me everything about me. How can you do that when you did not create me? You can't do that. You cannot change a person. We tend to think we can, but I always say the only person that we can change is the person that's in the mirror that we see every day. Every day. And with the help of God, we can't even do that by ourselves. We really think we can, but we can't. So how do I set these boundaries? Okay. First of all, I wrote down two things, and I think this is kind of powerful. Either you're going to let them go or you don't let them in. Let me say it again. Either you're going to let them go or you're not going to let them in. So let's talk about not letting them in first. So if I have set boundaries for myself, and some of them may be a tad bit negotiable, but you're going to have some non-negotiables, but you allow that person to get you out of character and allow them to overstep your boundaries, that's a red flag, y'all. If I'm going to set boundaries for me, that's going to protect my heart, my peace of mind, my spirit, and I allow somebody to step in, then I'm asking for it. I'm asking for it. Don't get me wrong. Some people are some manipulators, this narcissistic behavior. They do this thing where they just like wooing you. But I'm going to tell you something about those kind of people as well. They're going to slip. They're going to show you something. Sometimes we allow things to happen and we get in a little bit too deep. And oh my gosh, here we go again. Because we're not paying attention. You have to pay attention. Guarding your heart. And therefore, when they start seeing some things like I did, what I just said earlier about what he said and some of the things that he would say, and I just ignored, I let him in. And literally, that was something I really should have paid more attention to and not let him in. It's okay at the beginning of a relationship to step away from it versus getting in it and getting in it so deep that you find yourself in harm's way and your life is threatened because we didn't pay attention. And then we could be in a relationship, and let me just say relationships. It's not all about the intimate relationship. That's the first soul tie. I always say that. It's the intimate relationship between a man and woman, and it's really set up for a marital thing that God has for us. But you can have other relationships, and we can tie our souls to people that are friends, business partners, all kind of things. Even in the family realm, don't ever think you cannot be tied to a toxic parental relationship. You can. You still got to figure it out. You still got to find your peace in it. Although our parents, they do the best that they can for us, sometimes they're broken. And they want to instill that brokenness on us. And that's just not the way it's supposed to go. It's not. And I'm just saying, we have to guard our hearts. So we either not gonna let them in, and if they're there, we're gonna let them go. We gotta guard our hearts. So we have to discourage. We have to avoid certain things in relationships. And we got to look for certain attributes in people. And we got to know our front row. I said that before on another live. You have to know your front row. Why you got to know that? Because everybody don't deserve a seat on it. They don't. You got to know. You have to know your front row. Because everybody do not, listen to me, have the right to have every part of you if they don't deserve it. You need people, avoid these type of people that discourage you, people that distract you. There are destroyers. They just people. Like the guy, like he said, y'all go listen to the song People by Jonathan McReynolds. You need people in your life that's going to motivate you. They're going to know who you are. They're going to respect your boundaries. They're not going to talk about you. They're going to come up. If somebody is talking about you, they got you. Like, no. Those are the type of people you want in your front row. You cannot have everybody sitting on that front row. They're going to be in your life. Yes, true enough. My minister always would say this in some of his sermons. Sometimes you got to learn how to love people with a long silver hand spoon. I mean, that spoon is long. I'm putting it out there. I'm gonna love you from a distance. So that's a boundary. You got them there in your life, but they're not sitting on your front row because they're doing some things that are not conducive for you. They're not motivating you. They're not bringing out the best of you. Though you want people like that in your life. So if I got people in there that's always negative, always saying, girl, you always there and you always going to church. You always doing this. You always doing that. Okay. Well, that's my prerogative to do what I choose to do. So I don't know. No, just understand what I'm saying. You have to have positive people in your life. You have to have positive people in your lives because God is an awesome God. He sent his best. So if God sent me his best, why wouldn't I want the best in my life? Come on, y'all. Why wouldn't I? I've been there. I'm not telling you from what I don't know because I've been through the ringers. I've been through some abusive relationships. I've had toxic friendship relationships. I've had it all. I've dealt with things within my own family, within my own children. But again, I had to come back to the realization because some of that stuff probably was me. So, like I said, sometimes we could be our own worst enemy. We got to move ourselves out of the way. I put a quote out earlier this week, and it's something I thought about years and years ago, and I live by it. When I took the focus off of me, that's when I found me. It ain't nothing to do about me. It's about serving. When I learned how to serve, and that's a boundary of mine. When people cannot come in my life and they can't understand who I am, I'm a server. I'm a giver. I'm a woman of God that loves the Lord. If you cannot respect that, then that's a boundary that you have crossed. You know, I give people their props and whatever things. And then I heard something about a few weeks ago. I was on a live and one of the ladies said something about giving people the benefit of the doubt. There is no benefit in doubt. And I just loved what she said. That is so true. There is no benefit in doubt. It's not. Because if you got a doubt about something or somebody, that's a red flag, y'all. It's a red flag. So I got a few notes. I got to read them. Because like I said, I don't remember all this stuff that I wrote down and I researched. Some of the stuff that I already knew, but when you just find the research and you just want to share it with people. And I'm all about sharing what I learned and what I know. So when we're setting boundaries, this is what boundaries are. Saying what you're comfortable with. You got to say what you're comfortable with. And it's a way to protect yourself. Remember what I said earlier? Guarding your heart. I got to guard my heart. I can't get you to guard it if I don't teach you how to guard it. If I'm going to allow you just to come in here and just talk to me any kind of way. But I got to protect my sanity. I know, y'all. I didn't go through what I went through not to be able to tell you how it is when you allow somebody to talk to you like you're nothing. I got called all kind of names. I say this all the time. I would get told to shut up so much, I begin to believe my name was just shut up. So I have to protect myself. If I'm coming into this relationship, I'm letting you know, don't talk to me crazy. Basically, that sometimes we have these triggers. Not to say I do anything crazy or whatever, but just respect my boundaries when I tell you I'm going to respect you and I'm not going to talk to you crazy. So please don't talk to me crazy. Sometimes we have to learn to agree to disagree. That's you telling them what you want. Whether it's in what kind of relationship, you got to tell them what you want. It's called setting that boundary. You got to set it. Now, boundaries are going to be different for everyone. Your boundary may not be my boundary. You may be able to accept what I can't accept. That's a non-negotiable for me. It just may be that for you. I don't know what your boundaries is. You don't know what mine is. But if I'm in a relationship with you or I'm anticipating a business relationship, an intimate relationship, dating, or whatever, I need to let you know. No, that's non-negotiable for me. And if that person really want to do business with you and they want to get to know you, they're going to respect your boundaries and you're going to respect theirs. So, and this is the last one. It's a healthy thing. And y'all know I talk about being healthy in relationships. It's a healthy thing. So when you set these boundaries, and trust me, when you set that boundary with somebody and they cross it, they gonna know. Ooh, I didn't step over. I didn't cross the line. And when they cross that line, it's your responsibility because you set those boundaries to tell them, oh, we already talked about this. Why are we having this discussion? You made me feel this type of way. We talked about this. I don't like the way you said what you said. You ain't got to be, and look, y'all, me, my improper, and you ain't got to be hollering and yelling and talking crazy to them. You can talk nice and say, I don't like the way this just went down. So I think at this point, we got to learn to agree to disagree. Let's talk about this later. But I just want to let you know, you crossed my boundaries. You got to let them know. So boundaries are not a personal attack. Again, what did I just say? You don't go back and attack them because they cross your boundary. Because words are powerful, y'all. We can say some things that are hurtful because somebody did something and they knew they didn't supposed to do it. So I'm going to tell them how I feel. I don't care how they take it. Think about that before you open your mouth. It's a way to do it. It's called tact and approach. Okay? And boundaries are not just a suggestion. I'm not suggesting that you do this. I'm letting you know it's a boundary for me. I don't like it when people do things that are not right because I strive to do right. I'm just talking out loud. That could be a boundary for you. I don't like it when you talk about other people around me. I don't like that because that's not my nature. That's not what I do. You have to have these moral standards about yourself going into anything. This is what we teach our children. So if we teach our children things, but we get ourselves into things, but we don't teach it to ourselves. We don't. I'm guilty. But I'm learning. It's a learning thing. We learn each and every day how to do things. Like I said, life is so short. Who don't want to be happy in a relationship? When I think about relationships and partnerships and all kind of ships, a ship can be sunk. Think about it. But when a sailor, whoever goes out there to sail a boat or whatever, they do the precautions. They do everything that they need to do to make sure the journey is going to be safe. And sometimes storms come into our life. Like I just said, these things come in and people overstep their boundaries with us. Conflicts happen. We get into these toxic relationships. But if I've already set the standards within me, and I think God, looking back in the relationship that I was in, that I had boundaries and things that were so rooted and grounded in me when he thought he was going to break me. And y'all, I say this all the time. He almost did. But it was so much in me that he couldn't. He couldn't. So when you get this in you, when you get these boundaries set within you, you may waver. Oh, y'all know my palm tree. You're going to be like that palm tree. It's going to sway. It's going to go all the way to the ground. But guess what? It's going to bounce right back up. That's that tenacity. You got to have that tenacity. That, okay, I'm listening to you, but I ain't. What you calling me? No, that's not me. You done went too far. And then you got yourself there. So now you trying to get yourself out. But there's a way to do it. You have to start plotting and planning and getting yourself out of it. So Here is another thing, that boundaries are not something others can change. You cannot change my boundaries. That's your non-negotiables. There may be something that you may be able to tweak just a little bit that you set for yourself. But if you got a non-negotiable, they can't change it. They may try to change it. But then if you allow them to change it, it's on you. You already know what you can tolerate. You already know who you are. So if I let somebody come in my life and they validate my non-negotiable, I can just get ready. Because they're going to have me doing some things because I allowed it. No, you're the non-negotiables. Don't let them change it. Because if they get to bulking about it and this and that, that's a red flag. Step back. That's a sign. Oh, I think this is not going to work for me. Remember what I said? Getting into a relationship at the beginning, that's the best time to decide, you know what? It's not going to work for me. It's not. And the last one is something people can disrespect. It's not. You cannot disrespect my boundary. You can't. So if I'm telling you something that is a non-negotiable, it's a boundary for me, I'm not going to let you disrespect it. Because if I let you disrespect it one time, you coming back again and again and again. And therefore, I don't even have a boundary. You done stepped over it. I allowed you to. So I really want y'all to think about where you are. Does the person or people in your life, whomever they may be, do they respect your boundaries? Do they respect you as a person, as a human being? You gotta really think about that, because I think about that all the time. And especially when I'm embarking on new ventures and new relationships, I have to. You have to. Because who wants to be miserable? I always say misery loves company, but guess what, y'all? I ain't entertaining. I ain't gonna entertain it. I got my little cousin on here, Angie. Angie, girl, you know we be talking. I'll be like, cousin. Okay, cousin. Okay? Listen to what your big cousin telling you. I'm not gonna steer you wrong. Love you. Who needs to be in your life will be there. Well, her and I just had that conversation the other day. I think that might have been yesterday. I don't know. Whoever needs gonna be there, gonna be there. Everybody, again, know your front row. I tell her that all the time, girl. You got to know your front row. Because sometimes people can be sitting on your front row, y'all. I'm just being real. They don't support you. They don't do this. They don't do that. But they got this big, important part of your life. And it hurts. It bothers you when they don't show up for you. You got them sitting in the wrong spot. I know, I've done that, been there, done that. So now, who's sitting on my front row? It's only a few. Not to say that it's not going to be broader. I don't know. But I always pray for relationships. Wherever I'm entering out on. That I can do it. It can be godly. It can be uplifting. It can be motivating for me. It can be. Yes. So, I was just reading a text from my niece. I don't know what she's saying. She know I'm on the live. I don't even know why she texted me. But anyway, y'all, these boundaries have to be set. They have to be set. So now let's talk about some steps of setting up relationship boundaries. Number one, you clearly have to identify what you want. So if I don't tell you what I want, how you gonna know? How you gonna know what I want if I don't open my mouth and tell you what I want. I don't know what she's talking about. But anyway, you gotta tell them. So I'm like, I'm just getting to know you, and okay, I'm gonna kind of like share some things. But when I'm really getting to know you, I have to tell you some things. That no, no, this is not me. I don't do this. And you're not gonna persuade me to do it because that's not what I do. You gotta tell them. Simple. You just gotta tell them. So, number 2, you gotta be straightforward about your deal breakers. Remember what I just said? These are your non-negotiables. It's not gonna be a deal breaker for me if I'm telling you I don't do this, I don't argue, I don't fight, I don't do none of that. And if that's your nature, then I'm the wrong sister for you. That's a non-negotiable. I know what I've been through. And trust me, again, they show you. You coming into a relationship, and I'm telling you from what I know, big red flag, I ignored it. Talking about some things. When you come into a relationship, and I'm talking about in a dating thing, and this person is always talking about the ex, about what she didn't do, he didn't do, always putting them down, talking about family members, talking about everything but themselves. Red flag, y'all. Pay attention. That's a narcissistic behavior. I always talk about a narcissist. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look the word up. Go look it up. That's what they do. So you coming in a relationship, but I was like, I'm so tired of hearing about her. And I think he was like, why you keep on talking about her? That's not me. I said that. Pay attention to what they say to you. Because you're not in that relationship. That's that soul tie, y'all. He's still tied. Tied to her. So now you're in a relationship. You're trying to ban one with me. You want me to be, no, that's not me. But you're still talking about it because you're still tied over there. So, non-negotiables. So when he got irate about me telling him I'm a domestic violence advocate and I'm training for this and training for that, that should have been a non-negotiable right there for me. Oh, no, I should have been plugging on with what I was doing. I stopped. I adhered to what he was saying. I settled. That's what I did. Your non-negotiables are your non-negotiables. They have to be respected. They shouldn't be changed because that person wants you to change, even in business. No, I don't do business like that. Oh, well, we do it this way. We can get more profits. We can do this. We can do that. No. If you're a righteous person, that's a non-negotiable for you. No. So, number 3, do not apologize for your boundaries. Boo-boo, I ain't apologizing for where I am. No, this is me. Why should I apologize to you for what I feel is best for me? I don't expect that from you. So why would I accept that from you? No. I don't have to apologize for my boundary. Well, girl, boo, I'm just sorry. That's just the way I am. No, I don't have to apologize. I don't have to get you to see my boundaries. And y'all, I'm not trying to say that I'm trying to be tough. I'm just telling you about life. Life will get you there because, again, you can't have everybody sitting on your front row. They not going to see you. They say they do, but their actions show you differently. So they're in a boundary space where they should not be. They're holding up a space that's for somebody else that God has for you to help you to get to your God-given purpose in this life that's going to help you get there. So examine your front row. I do it. I do. I have to. Like I say, it's very limited. Yes, I have to do that. And for me, yes, I am a private person. I am. But I do share some things. That's a whole different live, y'all. So, number 4, address boundary violations early. What I said earlier, if they done stepped over your boundaries, oops, sorry, y'all. You need to address it right then and there. Don't get mad. Don't say nothing. Get quiet or whatever. Come on with it. Because they're going to ask you, bro, what's wrong? Girl, you just stepped over my boundary. Then we have this conversation. Okay, that's a non-negotiable. Okay. All right. Well, I think right now we got to agree to disagree. And then you go home and you reflect on what you need to do moving forward. So, number 5, have a self-awareness inventory. Well, that's powerful. Going back what I said earlier, you got to know you. Your self-awareness, meaning your self-worth. So if I'm going to give you an example. Okay. I'm just thinking of something. I got a girlfriend. We best friends. Or something that she's doing something that I just don't agree with. But I go along with it. What am I doing? I'm stepping out of my boundaries. And I'm agreeing to let her step over mine. And she knows me. She knows I don't do that. It's plenty of examples that I could give. It's plenty. Another one. Girl, I know what you're doing. You know you shouldn't be stepping that way. Girl, you married. But you know you don't do that. But you allowing her. That's a non-negotiable in a friendship. No, I'm going to be your friend enough. I'm going to tell you, you're wrong. I can't deal with this because that's something I don't do. That's against my morals. No, we're not going to negotiate about that. So if that's what you choose to do, I'm going to step aside. I'm going to let you do you, and I'm going to do me. And it's okay to do that because you're respecting your boundaries. There's plenty of examples. I'm pretty sure y'all know some. Number 6, don't use boundaries as personal attacks or a way to control others. It's true. Sometimes we can have these so high standard boundaries, but I'm going to control you. Oh, you going to do what I say. That's not the way it's supposed to go. Your boundaries are your boundaries. If they don't want to adhere to it, you cannot make them. So when you try to strive to make them, that's when the control comes in. No. If they don't respect your boundaries, then it's okay to sever the relationship. It is. Especially when you start in one. Because if you're already in it, all these boundaries things should already be settled. They really should. But sometimes we can be in it, and then sometimes here we come with this. Okay. You'll notice a change and this and this and that. But then again, you got to let them go or you don't let them in. One or two. So, number 7, you got to have a support system. Meaning that you got to have these people that have the same values as you. They add value. Again, knowing your front row. These people got you. They know everything about you. Somebody will come in y'all circle and then they be like talking to that person about you, and they already know, girl, she ain't going for that. You can go ask her. She ain't gonna do it. Or he not gonna do it. Because they know you so well. They know you. They know everything about you. They know what you will or will not do. Why? Because you already set the boundaries with them and you adhere to it. You don't negotiate about it. If they don't like it, then it's on them. I'm going to put it back on you. Because if you don't like what I say about me, you cannot define a person. You cannot make a person to whom you want them to be. I'm telling you from what I know, y'all. When I was in my toxic relationship, I didn't know who I was anymore. I tell people the most important thing about me that people always complimented me about was my smile. I couldn't even smile no more because I allowed my boundaries. I didn't guard my heart. He took all that. I allowed him to take it away from me. I gave him permission. You see what I'm saying? You have to learn how to set your boundaries, guard your heart. And if people don't want to adhere to how you feel about you, then it's on them. I'm not trying to control you to do me. I'm not trying to control you all. The only person that I can control is this girl right here. These are my boundaries. We're not going to overstep them. I'm not going to overstep yours. And then you can always come back to them and say, well, what are your boundaries? What do you expect from me? Okay. I can deal with that. I can respect that. It's called communication at the beginning. And even while you in it, you still got to communicate. So 8, do not let resistance keep you down. Well, you can resist all you want. That's not going to hamper my spirit because you want to resist or whatever. Maybe that just let me know that this is not where I need to be. I need to move on. So no, resistance shouldn't even be an issue when you set boundaries for yourself and you got people that you're trying to damage a relationship with that don't respect and they resist. Resistance sometimes could be a red flag. Pay attention. How are they resisting? What are they saying? You just got to be cognitive of what and how. So let me see if I can flip this page over. So, okay, I'm going to end it with these last few points. But I hope what I'm saying is making sense. We have to have these boundaries. We have to set them. Either we're going to let them in, we don't let them in, or we're going to let them go for our peace of mind, our happiness. Because you don't want to tie your soul to anybody that's not good for you. That's the main point. So, you should not be in a relationship with someone, I got to start by this one, who does not respect you. Why would I want anybody in my life that don't respect me? Nothing I say. I always got something negative to say about me. Probably, if you're saying about me to my face, I'm pretty sure you're saying about me behind my back. You gotta have that spirit of discernment about people. Because sometimes when you have a feeling about something, go with your gut. Go with it. So you have to be careful about that front row again. I'm just gonna drill that. Know who's on your front row. Okay, the second thing, and does not listen to your feelings. That's across the board. That's across the board. It's a wide spectrum there. You don't respect my feelings. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You have a right to share how you feel. And if people don't respect that, that's a boundary. Your feelings are your feelings. Their feelings are their feelings. So you have a right to say how you feel. That did not make me feel good. I'm not happy about that. Oh, yeah, that's an awesome idea. That's a good thing. But when they don't respect it, sometimes it could be a good thing for you. It may not be a good thing for them. And then they disrespect it. So your feelings are your feelings. So you want people in your life that's going to listen to how you feel. They're going to help you feel you. Because sometimes you can be so down about something and then you come around some negative person and you're more down than you were when they came. So we have to pay attention to our feelings, and people should respect. And if they don't listen to your feelings, okay, Why would I want to be in a relationship with somebody that does not listen to my feelings? Why? Because I'm going to respect you and I'm going to listen to what you're saying to me. But sometimes people don't reciprocate it back. And they don't. That's just people. But there are some awesome, awesome, awesome people out there still. Okay. So it's not emotionally available to you. Some people don't have emotions. Sometimes I always say you have to meet people where they are. You have to respect people where they are. Just because they don't show emotion, that doesn't mean that they don't really care. I kind of don't agree with this one fully. It's not emotionally available to you. Some people don't know how to be emotionally available to you. Sometimes it's for you to show them how to be emotionally available to you. Because I have people in my own family that are not emotional available, and they've been in my life my whole life. So that's just sometimes how people are. But eventually, you never know. They may be emotionally available to you. And another one, and they lie to you. I have 3 sons, and they'll tell you, my mama she'll tell you, don't lie to her. I don't like people to lie, because I'm not going to lie to you. And when you got somebody that's lying to you, why in the world would you want them in your life? Why? No. Because you're going to lie. You lie about anything. And I always say this, and just think about what I'm just going to say. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you coming in this relationship lying to me, it's going to be a lying relationship. Unless you just want to change. And the change comes within, with you. It does. So it takes no responsibility for their own behavior. Again, y'all, I implore you to go look up the word narcissist, because right there, that is a behavior of a narcissistic person. They'll never admit that they're wrong. They'll never admit to defeat. They won't. They won't. They will not acknowledge their behavior. They'll blame you all the time. Why would I want somebody in my life that's like that? I don't. Okay. They betray you emotionally. They can do it sexually and financially. Oh, no. That's a non-negotiable. Betrayal? Because if that's what you do, then that's where you need to be. My emotions are my emotions. You have to respect them. If I cry, you should respect that. I remember being in that toxic relationship, and yes, I would cry. And I would be told to shut up. Stop crying. If you don't stop crying, you know how we parents, and when we talk to our children, if you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about. Yeah, that's what I was told. So my emotions are my emotions. You should respect that. If I cry, whatever. If you don't have the empathy or anything to give back to me, my best thing there is just maybe you shouldn't say anything. It's okay not to. Sometimes my mama always said, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't you say nothing. But we don't always adhere to that. Another one is they attack and they criticize you routinely and unfairly. That's a powerful one. That happened to me a lot. No respect. Got talked about, attacking. So why would all of these things I'm talking about, they should be on your boundary list. You don't want to be involved with anybody like that. They treat you like their worst enemy. Denies you the help and support you need in a crisis. That's what they do. They act like the only person who matters in the relationship. Wow. Some things just to think about. Building healthy relationship takes work. It takes work from both parties. You cannot do it by yourself. But one thing, like I said, coming in, you have to set those boundaries. You got to know what those boundaries are. So get you a piece of paper and a pen and write it down. Especially if you're out there, you're single and you're looking to move into the dating again, or you merging on a business or anything that's going to require other people to be in your life. Write it down. Write down your boundaries. What you're not going to tolerate, what you can tolerate. What are your non-negotiables moving forward? And it's okay to do that, because going back to what I said earlier, your self-awareness, my self-worth. I'm guarding my heart. So if I'm guarding my heart, I'm going to guard yours. I'm going to respect you. I'm going to do everything that I expect from you to you. That's how you build a healthy relationship. It's not one-sided. It's not all about me in a relationship. It's not. It's a two-way street. And that's something that I have learned, y'all, over these years. Over these years in this journey, I have learned a whole lot of things. And I can be transparent in it. And I can talk about some things. So guys, I just want to thank you all for jumping on. I see some of my family on here. I see my good friend Deidre. You know, I'm on the laptop today that of course, I still don't have my laptop fixed. But God always has a ram in the bush for you. And I'm using my ram in the bush today, because I really didn't want to get on my phone and do this. But thank you, Deidre, my girl. Thank you for all your support. You've always supported me in everything. And my cousins, Angie and Mark. I just love you guys so much. But I'm excited about my journey, y'all. It's all about the journey and helping some people in their journey. We got to build these boundaries. We got to build healthy relationships, because we want to be healthy and we want to be happy. But it starts with this old girl here, and it starts with you. So you got to learn how to do it. Set those boundaries. It's okay. Don't back down. If they resist, they resist. Just pay attention. You have to pay attention. So guys, I want to thank you again. Share this live. I'll be back on Monday. It's a Soul Time Monday, just to talk about a couple of things. A little short, got a lot of things that I'm working on, and I can't wait to share. But to God, all the glory goes to, because I always say this, no matter what you go through, it's really not for you. It's for somebody else. Tell your story. Somebody needs to hear it. I tell my story. I was in a domestic violence marriage. It started off as a relationship, but ultimately ended in a marriage that I almost perished from. And I talk about it, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. I got a whole lot of other things I'm going to talk about, because my story is going to help somebody to know that they don't have to live that way. So I'm a voice for the voiceless. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hey, Stacia. Thank you for jumping on. Yes, we have to share our stories. We have to, especially in a time as this. It's so much going on. I see so much coming across my timeline. I have so many news reports that I get on my phone, and it just breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart. We are our sisters and brothers' keepers. We are. We got to tell them about the joy that we have. We got to tell them about God, our Lord and Savior. That's who saved me. He delivered me. I didn't do this on my own. I got myself in that mess, and that's what we do. We get ourselves in it, and then we cry out to God to get us out. But I'm grateful, and I'm humbled, and I'm blessed for each and every one of you jumping on Saturdays and anything that I'm doing. Anything. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. I want to thank you again. I'm going to jump off and just going to jump off and just work on some things. And God says the same. I will see you guys on next Saturday. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. I always just let the Spirit just guides me on what to tell the people. So just get ready. I'll post it probably Tuesday or Wednesday what we going to talk about. But remember what these soul ties, y'all. Go look up what a soul tie is. We got to have healthy soul ties. So I'm hoping in the near future, I'm going to bring in some godly people that's been around for a minute in some awesome relationships. And I let them say some things. Because all relationships are not bad. They got people been in marriages a long time. My elder, Brother Holland and Sister Hollins, they're celebrating 57 years today. I think it's today. I want to congratulate y'all. That's 57. Y'all, 57. I was 1 year old. I just turned 58. So that's a long time. But again, healthy relationships. They are there and they're hanging in there, and they can give us some wisdom on what we need to do to be in godly relationships the way God has for us to do and be. So y'all, soul ties not all bad. It's the godly and the ungodly. But y'all, I gotta go. I love you guys. Hey, Sandra, love you too. But bye, y'all. Until God says the same on next Saturday, I'll see you then. Bye.